Welcome to Somniumstories, where we serenade you to sleep on your bed or couch, or for those of you by a campfire or driving along the highway on a long journey. We tantalize the mind with real life or fictional stories, and we invite you to listen to the end. And comment below if you think the story is real or fiction. In the next video, we'll reveal whether the story on the previous episode was real or fiction, as well as the identities of the major protagonists in the story. Now sit back and enjoy the serenade. A dense forest shrouded in shadows, the trees twisted like gnarled fingers reaching for the sky. Moonlight barely filters through the thick canopy, casting eerie shapes on the forest floor. A sense of the foreboding hangs heavy in the air. We follow Sarah, a young woman in her mid-twenties, as she cautiously navigates the labyrinth of trees. Her breath comes out in ragged puffs, and in her eyes dart nervously from side to side. Sarah whispering to herself, "Just keep walking, you'll find your way out." Suddenly, a strange humming fills the air, growing louder with each passing second. Sarah freezes, her heart pounding in her chest. She looks up to see a blinding light descending from the sky, illuminating the surrounding trees in an otherworldly glow. Sarah's voice trembling. "What is that?" Before she can react, a beam of light shoots out from the craft, enveloping Sarah in its ethereal glow. She screams, but her cries are drowned out by the deafening sound of the ship's engines. Sarah finds herself suspended in the mid-air, surrounded by a blinding white light. She struggles against an unseen force, but is futile. The walls of the spacecraft are sleek, metallic, adorned with strange symbols and pulsating lights. Suddenly, a door slides open, revealing a group of towering extraterrestrial beings. Their skin is a sickly shade of grey, and their eyes gleam with an otherworldly intelligence. They move towards Sarah with the slow, deliberate steps, their elongated fingers reaching out towards her. Sarah's voice shaking, "Please, please let me go." The aliens pay no heed to her pleas as they begin to probe and examine her with cold, detached precision. Sarah's screams echo through the metallic chamber, but there is no one to hear her cries. Hours pass and the humming of the spacecraft fades into the distance. The forest is once again cloaked in darkness. The only sound, the rustling of leaves in the wind. Sarah is nowhere to be found, her disappearance leaving behind only a trail of unanswered questions and lingering dread. Sarah's struggles grow more frantic as the aliens subject her to a series of invasive experiments. She is restrained on a cold metallic table, unable to move as they prod and probe her body with strange instruments. Their touch is ice cold and alien, sending shivers down her spine. One of the aliens approaches with a menacing looking device. Its purpose unknown to Sarah, she thrashes against her restraints, her heart hammering in her chest as the alien draws closer. Sarah starts screaming, "No, no, please don't. Stop." But her cries fall on deaf ears as the device is brought closer to her forehead. Blinding light engulfs her vision, and she feels a searing pain shoot through her skull. Images flash before her eyes, disjointed and surreal, as though her very essence is being torn apart. Suddenly, the pain subsides, leaving Sarah gasping for breath. She stares up at the aliens with wide, horrified eyes, her mind reeling from the ordeal she has just endured. The aliens exchange silent glances before one of them approaches Sarah with a small vial filled with an iridescent liquid. They force her mouth open and pour the liquid down her throat, causing her to convulse and gag as it courses through her veins. As the effects of the liquid take hold, Sarah's vision blurs and her thoughts become fragmented. She feels herself slipping into a state of unconsciousness, the world around her fading into darkness. Sarah finds herself in a nightmarish landscape, where reality twists and bends in impossible ways. Strange creatures lurk in the shadows, their eyes glowing with malevolent intent. She tries to run, but her legs refuse to move, rooted to the spot as though held in a place by some unseen force. Whispers echo in the darkness, taunting and mocking her with promises of eternal torment. Sarah's screams are swallowed by the void as she is consumed by fear and despair. Suddenly she wakes with a start, her body drenched in sweat. She finds herself back in the cold metallic table, the aliens looming over her with cold, impassive eyes. Sarah's voice trembling, "Please, Please let me go. I won't tell anyone about this, please. But the aliens remain silent, their intentions unfathomable as they continue their relentless examination of Sarah's body and mind. Time blurs as Sarah endures further torment aboard the alien ship. Each moment feels like an eternity as she's subjected to incomprehensible experiments and mental manipulation. Her mind reels under the strain, teetering on the brink of madness. In one harrowing sequence, Sarah is placed inside a claustrophobic chamber filled with swirling colors and incomprehensible patterns. The walls seem to close in on her, suffocating her with oppressive presence. She claws desperately at the walls, her screams echoing in the empty chamber. In another chilling ordeal, Sarah is confronted with vivid hallucinations of her worst fears brought to life. She watches in horror as the grotesque figures emerge from the shadows, their twisted forms taunting her with malevolent laughter. She feels a sense of overwhelming dread wash over her, threatening to consume her sanity. Throughout it all, Sarah's sense of time and reality becomes increasingly distorted. She struggles to distinguish between what is real and what is merely a product of her fractured mind. The line between nightmare and reality blurs, leaving her trapped in the waking nightmare from which there seems to be no escape. But amidst the horror, a glimmer of defiance flickers within Sarah's soul. Despite the overwhelming odds stacked against her, she refuses to surrender to despair. With every ounce of strength she possesses or she can muster, she fights against her captors, determined to survive at any cost. As the alien ship hurtles through the endless expanse of space, Sarah's fate hangs in the balance. Will she succumb to the darkness that threatens to engulf her, or will she find the strength to defy her tormentors and emerge victorious against all odds? And where is she? The end. If you think you have an idea if the story is real or fictional, comment down below and like and subscribe so you can find out the answer on the next episode of Somnium Stories.